Hey, what's up, guys? In this video, I'm going to talk about me, which is one thing I actually don't like talking about. If you notice in my videos, I don't like to make things too personal, but I have had some comments kind of like questioning my credentials or questioning why I'm saying what do I know, right? And I think it's a good video to make because hopefully if you have watched my videos, you understand that I at least know what I'm talking about to a degree, and I'll admit when I don't know everything. Correct? Which is, I think, a pretty reasonable thing, and I don't claim to be an expert when it comes to certain things like steroids. A lot of things I'm saying, I'm just relaying that information to you. But what I do know, what I am, and a quote expert on, which is my profession, which I have been for now over 10 years, is a registered health professional in Canada, and who works with the human body every day for a living in all different types of scenarios and pathologies especially. I work with athletes. I work at just making people more relaxed and like kind of like a spa mentality. So it's a manual therapy type of job. But I as well heal people. I heal people with really serious conditions, chronic conditions, and I've seen miracles happen. This video is not going to be about that, but for example, people who haven't lifted their arm over their head for years, come one treatment, they're lifting it 75%, two treatments, they're lifting it 100%, to give you an idea. And I have a very good understanding of the human body through schooling. So I have 2 science degrees, one in psychology, bachelor degree in psychology, which is science, and then one in for my massage therapy, which in Canada it's a very extensive program because it's a health. It's not just like to be a masseuse like a lot of people might think. It's definitely a huge step up from that, which is we have to take a pre-med to even to graduate in there. We have our own college, just like doctors have a college, psychologists have college, etc. We have our own college. It's very serious here in Canada to be registered medical massage therapist, which I am. So I incorporate my understanding, if you listen to my videos, of human anatomy and physiology when it comes down to exercise science. I'll have to talk about when it comes down to the whole realm of steroids, my understanding of physiology when I talk about everything from cardiovascular to the muscles themselves, to nutrition, everything else. And then a lot of my videos I also talk about relationship things or just men's health in general, men's psychology kinds of things in general, which is kind of my psychology background, but as well something I claim to be at least pretty good at, fairly good at, even though I'm not like a psychologist by any means. But it's something. I'm a therapist, and I deal with people in a very quote intimate way every day. Like intimate being, they're in a vulnerable state on a table. They're naked. They're entrusting. You're like it's a professional role where it's much more connectedness than even like a pediatrician or like a doctor or somebody else. Because doctors can touch and sure they analyze and they do assessments and things, but I know every nook and cranny of the human body, like literally without even looking. Like I just said. It's called, there's like a roadmap of the human body. I know the whole roadmap. I know every bump, every little groove, every little thing of the human body, okay? From head to toe. So I'm bringing, hopefully, my understanding of that into your realm. And I hope I proved that because, you could just watch me and then see, hey, I'm just some guy who is making videos in his car. Like, what the hell does this guy know? And I get my video production isn't the best, but I kind of like it that way because I like to keep it kind of organic. Like, if I put on this huge production, it would make it look like I'm trying too hard. I really don't want that. I like doing it from my car because it demonstrates that I'm just talking off the top of my head, like just natural, like I would to anybody. You know what I mean? If I set this whole thing up and it looked like I was reading from a script or whatever else, then it would come across unnatural and things like that. And I speak a lot better when I just speak off the cuff anyway. So I hope you guys respect that to a degree, even though I understand it's not the best video quality or production quality, and I've got some feedback on that as well. So maybe I have to step it up for some actually good videos as well. But when it comes down to what a lot of my channel is about, which is the science of steroids, or just the whole topic of steroids in general. So obviously that isn't something that I learned formally through a university or like through my profession, like, or nor did anybody. A lot of this is through obviously listening to people that I consider reputable online. So, and just like I said, relaying that information to you, but incorporating my own understanding, because there are elements that have to do with physiology, have to do with actual medical types of things involved in that. But so long story short, when I started this journey around 3 years ago, whenever I get into something, I do like I go beyond deep dive. I like become totally immersed in it. I just jump off the deep end into any topic that, or interests or hobby that I get into. Like for boxing, for example, I get right into it. When I got into shooting guns, like I just bought thousands of dollars worth of guns, and became pistol shooting, competitive pistol shooting and things. I just got 100% into it. You know what I mean? And it's the same with this. When I got onto starting HGH, that was the initial foot in the door. I learned everything about HGH. I learned all the extent, and then because of that, I started, getting my feet wet on the whole other topics of steroids. And then when I actually decided to start taking testosterone, I really started learning about steroids, like from people like Kurt Havens, Paul Burnett, Todd Lee, amongst many others, who I consider reputable, because all these guys, they've been doing it for like 20, 30 years. First of all, they're coaches, but they have scientific backgrounds as well. So it's not just going to be totally anecdotal. There's going to be evidence. It's going to be evidence-based as well, and that's what I hope I bring to the table as well. Even though I don't even want to consider myself comparable to these guys by any means. They're like levels beyond me. Okay, as far as things go. I'm just a guy here that's sharing my experience. I think that's actually in my description of my YouTube channel. I'm just a guy here just sharing like my 2 cents when it comes to things, my experience and my understanding. And sometimes I'm wrong. I look back on some of my older videos. I'm like, no, actually I was wrong when I said that. Like, no, I don't think I was right with it. But my understanding has adapted. It has evolved. It has changed. So, and a lot of times people have commented and provided feedback that made me at very least think about things, which is a great type of feedback. When you put something out there and somebody gives feedback, at least questions what you're saying, like, I didn't consider that. If at very least it makes you think, that's a good thing. So part of it is having this conversation, putting things out there on the internet, having conversation. And it really doesn't matter what I'm just getting to sum up the essence of my video, because people have questioned my what my qualifications are. It really doesn't even matter. What matters is you're sharing your perspective, you're sharing your experience, because I have now 3 years of experience doing these things. And I don't want to come across too much in a position of authority, even though maybe some of my videos I do. But that's okay for people who, at least opening the door and sharing it for people who are starting their journey, because with anything, it starts with mimicking, okay? Like, say you're painting and you're just starting to paint. You might watch Bob Ross paint some mountains and some trees, and then you mimic his painting, and it's going to be, look, nothing like his, but at least that's where you start. And in the steroid journey, unfortunately, I think a lot of people mimic people with just straight bad advice, with bad compounds and things. So part of my initiative here and my intent is to provide good advice where it's safe and effective, because let's just be real, if you're watching me probably for steroids, it's not going to be to do a TRT dose. It's going to be a TRT plus. Anybody watching me too, it's not going to be blasting 2 grams a gear. It's going to be under a gram a gear, and I hope I can share my experience with people who are kind of in the TRT plus / HRT / sports TRT realm of things where that's exactly where I'm at. And I've even dialed things down recently, and I'm sharing that experience with you guys, where I'm not doing the same volume of steroids or the same load with the same compounds I was doing before, and keeping it really simple. Sometimes simple is more ideal than complicating things, and keeping it safe. Like really when it comes down to things, I think a lot of people make mistakes when starting their steroid journey, and especially at a time where the information was not available. Now, if we can, as a community, which we're all part of, community, we come in this like town square, if you want to call it, of YouTube or forums or wherever else, and share our experiences, what worked, what doesn't work, then that's kind of like an experiment in itself. It's kind of like a case study where we can draw something out of that, hopefully. And that's what I'm intending to do, is just adding to the conversation, adding my 2 cents. But as well, I hope that in listening to me, not to toot my own horn too hard here, that there's something of value to what I'm saying as well, in a lot of ways, especially in like exercise science realm of things, and even like when it comes down to like psychology, relationship area. I made a few videos about that, but even in the steroid realm of things, just sharing my experience, what's worked. I found what worked for me, and I'm sharing that with you guys. And it's not about having some type of credential, because that's coming from a place of like a fallacy of authority. I don't want to do that. I'm just here to just be real, and I hope I can, through just these organic videos, demonstrate that. Like, there's no planning involved in these videos. I don't have a script. I don't really do much. I'm just here, press record and start talking, you know what I mean, and share. But maybe I should plan little things out a little bit more, make things a little bit more legit. But when it comes down to YouTube and things, my intention isn't even about the numbers game of things. Like, I could, if I really wanted to be an influencer, I'd probably adapt a different strategy. But like, I just want to be pumping out videos about things that are on my mind, you know what I mean? And I've got a lot of great feedback. I know some of you guys have listened, and the vast majority of feedback's been good, so I know I'm doing something right. So I'll leave it there, guys, and I hope if you're listening, I inspire you guys to at least maybe do the same. I see some guys who say a lot of great things on my channel, provide a lot of great feedback, information, but then I look at your channel and there's like no videos and things. So maybe do it for yourself. I hope I inspire some of you guys as well, or at least bring a conversation to the table that sometimes needs to be done. And that's my intention too, is to bring conversations to the table that a lot of people don't talk about, if you notice. So I'll leave it there, guys. Leave in the comment section below whether you appreciate my videos. Is there something you would like me to do a video on? I always, believe it or not, when somebody makes a comment, I've made personalized videos just based on comments to them. So that's part of the conversation I like to have with people. Okay, so I hope everybody is having a great day. Thanks for watching. Peace.